Bonjour, good morning, good day, Datta.
Good morning.
Yes. This year we are going to celebrate, first of all, 150 years of Shree Aurobindo's birth anniversary, then 75 years of India's independence. We call it Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Absolutely.
And then we have finished 50 years of our school, which is named Sincerité. The mother gave that name, and we are trying to work out on Mother's and Shree Aurobindo's ideals. But at the same time, we are in a worldly level, and Bardoli is a town, so there are problems of a external life, but within we have that aspiration. So for this little bit of a small talk with you, first of all, I am very happy that you have agreed to speak to us, and first of all you can speak a few words about you.
So, about me, there is nothing much. I am, as I always say, a child of the mother, and it's she who gave me this name, Datta. I'm Datta. I had my education in the ashram school, and then mother chose me as a teacher. So she decided what I should do. So there I am. I've started working with the little ones, that is the primary section.
At
What
age and in which year did you start?
I started in 73. That was the last letter she gave me before passing away, that I should join school.
Lovely.
So ever since I started working, in fact, it's been from 73 onward, I'm there. So we have children after the kindergarten, which is at the age of 6 to 9. And we keep them for 3 years in the primary section. And we have a building to ourselves, which is very, very, we are very lucky to have that. A big building with a lovely garden and a lot of space for the children to move around. I think that being what, it's a gift of the mother, I would say, because to have a place like this is already
And it is there that they learn how to speak, how to write.
How they the learning starts there. You could say the academic learning starts there. They learn, and we start in French.
Yes.
So it's again a big challenge, because children who come without a French background, we give them the French language, and then they do also their mother tongue, they do Sanskrit, so they have already 3 languages. And the next year we include English. So English comes afterwards, because
4 languages.
Because in kindergarten they do only in French and Sanskrit, of course.
Yes.
Because mother wanted this place to have Sanskrit from the beginning. So Sanskrit, French. And then...
So I see in your place there are rooms. There is one room reserved for the music or some silence. There is some manusery, carpentry, something going on.
We have different centers.
Okay.
Like the carpentry, exactly what you said. We have centers for drawing, painting, and then we have place for handwork, a lot of crafts that the children do. We have a lovely studio for the music, where the children can learn how to play music, instruments. They have also teachers who teach them songs in French and English and in mother tongue and Sanskrit.
Oh.
So we have these 4 languages always, like it's part of the learning. So they learn through movements, they learn, and then we have big halls for dancing, for movement, for music. So, and all that, why? Because a child doesn't grow in a line. A child learns first through asking questions. He wants to know. That is what we try to instigate. We want a child to ask questions. So there's a lot of work that we do through projects. A project is a very important aspect in our daily curriculum. So, like now we are working on the spring, because this is the spring that coming, the winter is over, the spring. So through spring, they learn vocabularies, they learn poems, they learn song, they learn the French structure, and they learn how to write it. So they are, and we do a lot of orals first actually. Oral is the first thing, once, and oral always through questions and answers. So that's how they, and I think that's one of the main things that we want the children to start with. And then each one's interest, we try to give them as much as we can, as we have a lot of games, lot of books, picture books, and also writings. So they go through books and we see their interest. Some who are interested on books, they will go towards the library section. The others who are more apt for drawings, painting, they go to that center. So that we give every day. We have 1 hour for that session, where a child can find his own interest and he can develop it. We've been trying it. I know it is not, we don't go very fast, as we have to take a lot of things with, and we see this growth after 3 years.
Yes.
Not 1 year. That's where we are working, and I think now we have, after nearly 50 years of working with them,
Exactly.
I'm still learning, I'm still finding out, and I see that it's very, very challenging, but extremely interesting.
Yeah, since 73,
73 years.
so many students have passed through.
Yes.
And they all love you. So what is the secret of that?
That I believe because I want them to be themselves. The first thing is that don't do what the other is doing. It's very easy. Try to find out what you want. And to say that to a child of 6 years, it is difficult, but at the same time it is not, because a child understands much more beyond words.
Yes.
And that, if you have confidence, you have it. I'll give you an example of children. In fact, I can even name the child. It is Divya's brother, Divakar, because it is now in the history book of our school. He was a child who would not like to read and write or do the regular thing which we used to do. And he was in my class, and every time he used to say, this child is not going to come out, maybe he'll have to again stay one more year with us, all that. But at the end of the session, when the bell rang, we had a big aquarium in the classroom. At the end of the session, he would come and say, Datta di, dis-moi, tell me, why is this fish not like this fish, and why this fish is not floating? I mean, all sorts of questions in the aquarium. So after school, I had to pass at least 15 to 20 minutes with him. And I said, you see, you are asking me all these questions, but better than me, there are some books who can give you much more. So I started very softly getting some books and pictures and whatever in our classrooms. And I saw that slowly he was getting interested, but he didn't know how to read it. He was opening, but he didn't know how to read. So I said, come on, we are going to do it together. And this is how very slowly, it took us maybe 15 to 16 days, like two weeks. Constantly I worked with him. And there was a time we just clicked. It clicked. And I still remember his face the day he could read one sentence on his own. I think that's the biggest joy a teacher can have.
The last question, as you have been a student here in the same school, and what are your experiences with the mother, or what you learned from our school yourself?
It's a lot. It's a lot, and I am grateful. I don't know how to say grateful. Grateful is a very tiny word. It's the amount of blessing, the amount of love she poured on me is tremendous. I had the greatest fortune, I would say, to be with my teacher, French teacher Tanmeda, Monsieur Raymond, who was here. And mother chose me to be in the free system. And she said, let her do exactly how she feels. That freedom was given to me. And from my childhood, I had this quest. Like, I wanted to know everything. Like, if I didn't understand something, I will just not leave it. So that quest was there. And Monsieur Raymond was my teacher, was always at my side. At that time, there were 2 l'univers. I don't know if you remember. We had a series of 2 l'univers books, and he would say, go and collect this. And I used to spend time reading those things. And then suddenly I had, after a few years, because I was there for a long time, and I just wanted to, because I was interested in everything, and I wanted to do my project or whatever on my Leonardo da Vinci. And doing that, I was actually, after 2 years, I was supposed to go to knowledge. In fact, knowledge didn't exist at that time. But I was supposed to go to knowledge, and mother said she can do her project from anywhere she wants to. So I could be in the school, I could be in the library, that was our knowledge. So she could be there, she can take help of any teacher she wants to. So I could choose mine. So I had the freedom to work Leonardo with Krishna Lal Bhai for paintings, and we didn't have enough books. So mother got some books for us, and then for the history part, I wanted to work with Kittuda. So Kittuda was asked to work together, and then Tanmeda was for the general, and then Nilatadi, Jumurdi, everyone was helping me for my project. Just because, and then Monsieur Roger was there, because we were also very, very much involved with the Aurobindo thing. So I said, And then we could write to her any question, any doubt. We could write to her and she would answer. So that freedom and that possibility was there. In fact, I think we didn't even realize that one day that thing will go away and we had to only be with ourselves, you know. We knew that one question to mother and she will reply. So that facility, that opportunity is it's a great event in our life. So mother went on, and it is there that I asked mother that is Leonardo and Shree Aurobindo, they are the same. Then mother very clearly put it. Leonardo represents one tiny aspect of Shree Aurobindo. It is not the entire, you know, because these questions I wanted to know very clearly. So she put it. Well, so you see the liberty, and at the same time the amount of time she had given, she spent for, because she wanted this free system to work and to be possible. So each time she would ask Kirit Bhai, of course at that time Kirit Bhai was for every little thing. I used to work also with Kirit Bhai for the history.
Yes.
So he would ask any questions that we go and. So I believe, you know, it's just because of her grace that I could complete, I could do it for 5 years. I had the freedom and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll just finish with something. During all this time, mother took me out for a while from my family.
Yes.
One day, she just took me out. Kirit Bhai comes and tells me, you have to go to Junjun boarding. Mother had decided. She used to decide. So my parents couldn't say anything because mother had decided. There was no... So she puts me in a boarding. And after I graduated, I thought, now I am a sadhika. Mother would give me a room and where I will do my sadhana all in that, you know, in that space. And I was preparing myself when mother said, you go back to your family. I just didn't know why. You take the person out, prepare the person, and then you put it back. So you see, her ways are so varied. So
you have a father from Bengal,
mother from Pondichéry.
Pondichéry, means once Bengali, then Tamil, and of course English, French, Sanskrit, and all the languages.
That is
the mastery. But
I wouldn't say I'm mastery because there are many here in the ashram who are mastery of languages. So I don't.
But you are quite fluent with almost
yes,
all these languages.
Yes.
But
spoken.
Can you just tell us something about your father's influence?
A lot, because my father was also a disciple of the mother. He came away when his father has left him. So that's the vacant feeling which he had to. And when he came here, he was totally, he's also like he gave himself fully. But he was a born poet, a musician, and I call my father a genius because whatever he has touched, he has done it to its perfection. I have never seen anyone play a piano, a grand piano, without knowing how to play it. I've never seen anyone doing it. He came, he could play any, you just gave him, he is a violinist, but he would play on any instrument. People from, he had disciples all over the world. They used to come record his thing, take away. He said, what does it matter? It comes, I give. It's not mine. This is what he always said. Nothing is mine. It's been given to me, and if I give. So this influence was there, very, very strong in my life. My dad's influence is very, very strong. I think all of my brothers and sisters, everyone had felt this very strong. And I would say my mother, another aspect of the Mahakali and the Shakti. And I think these two had to meet, otherwise the family would not be in balance. They both were very different, but at the same time they were also together. I think that may be my background, which sometimes it's not very easy, because it's not at all easy to have a very strong, like there are moments I feel I should stop doing my daily core and just write, because things just present. I want to write, but then my daily work, my discipline does not permit. And my mother's education, that whatever you do, my mother is a perfectionist. You do it perfectly, never neglect. So these two to balance is very difficult. I feel very difficult. But only now I am understanding what is it. I let go. I let go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you cannot do it to the perfection that you think of. All that matters is if you've been sincerely doing your effort. Sincerely doing it.
That's perfect. For sincerity school, we
so.
terminate with sincerely.
That sincerity has been a very important thing.
Thank you very much.
You have a beautiful, beautiful name, but a very difficult, very difficult task to complete. I wish it will be. If from 7 children today you are 1007, I think it's an achievement. Okay.
Okay.